Tonight I'm gonna feel alive, and no one won't be acting nice. So baby, go and start a fight. I'm in love with the city lights. Look, I'm enough of a big star. I got my girls and I got my cars. Come here, baby, be a buzz. Do whatever you want. Unlock your shop. We're about to pop. Whatever I do, not up to you. We're gonna shut it up. La la la. Let's stop, won't stop. Unlock your shop. Whatever you do, not up to you. We're gonna shut it up. Today I found out what I want. It's everything I've never had. It's been a lifetime feeling sad, feeling sorry for the things that might make you mad. But I'm back, who's back, bitch? You ain't even sorry. All you do is make people around you damn worried. I know it might sound just a little bit corny. Now I know where I stand. Don't even have a plan. Unlock your shop. We're about to pop. Whatever I do, not up to you. We're gonna shut it up. Let's stop, won't stop. Unlock your shop. Whatever you do, not up to you. We're gonna shut it up. Just like glue, you'll be someone's too. It's time for you. Just do whatever you want. Unlock your shop. We're about to pop. Whatever I do, not up to you. We're gonna shut it up. Let's stop, won't stop. Unlock your shop. Whatever you do, not up to you. We're gonna shut it up.
Hey there, Cougar Killer here, and today, as you can see, Arma3, and it's a squad training day, so we'll be gonna practice pretty much Phoenix stuff. So here we go.
Yeah.
Stuff from training next year.
They were talking about potentially changing the settings, but knowing commands that might not have happened yet. Because they're busy people.
Want to shoot me and find out?
No.
That's not CS.
Bad idea. Hello.
Where's the CS?
But if we're talking about
Touch it.
anyone put a accidentally
Join on
put a
me.
shotgun slug in his like
Do,
leg or
do,
something.
do.
Not right now.
Bud.
Repeatedly.
Maybe later.
Touch the butt.
Ooh, that's a
Even
nice
with
butt.
reflex fracture, so if it doesn't work once, splint and try again.
Crowbar
I
coming
can
out of
jump
it.
off that of the building.
No.
Does that make it a half-life
Fine,
buzz?
go
Half
red
buzz?
for me, please.
Yes.
Do you have any luck with rusty balls?
He was not there at that moment in time.
It's not ours. Not ours there.
Morning, Chris.
Jack, are
Happy
you
to
on
be back here.
36.2?
You said
Hello.
that.
No, knowing him, he'll be on 36.1, and oh shit. Where's he at?
Been parking on 5.5. I can't monitor all of them.
Got it.
No, so no 0.6, just 5.5.
Got it.
I forget, how do I switch optic modes?
Control right click.
Thank you.
Jack, you reading on 36.1?
Not yet, I'm currently setting up my thing.
The other one.
This is so
9, you're on
creative.
36.2 tonight.
Okay.
What's a head grenade versus an ATDP?
high explosive dual purpose versus high explosive tracer.
Emergency channels.
Wait, you said grenade?
36.
Uh,
2, 5.
M397 HET grenade round.
Is that heavy AT or
Where's my
just
castle?
AA?
That's an AA.
Got it.
I
Switch
still
out
rather
to
take the high explosive dual purpose because I
18,
can fuck
so
up
we can
a
hit
car
Yes.
or wheeled
Yes,
vehicles.
Up to
Just
1%.
Didn't know what the other one was. I was asking.
You can.
Excellent. Right.
We
being
have a
transferred.
tech here. Do we have a tech here?
Yes.
Oh,
Damn, he
okay.
just disowned you.
Thank you, Wadi.
I mean,
And backwards.
Hello.
Looks
Yeah,
like you
but-
might be getting your own team tonight.
6-1 check. I
T.
just switched, you commie.
Good
check.
Maybe the T stands for tacos.
Explosive taco.
Yeah,
That's kind of taco.
Just,
Explosive taco.
just Taco Bell. It's just
Yeah, we are.
militarized,
It's only
so
for-
you have to get the designation.
There's no bad.
That's what we know of.
Alright, if you are going to be joining us, go to 36.2. For me, please.
Wait.
This is an M973 hat.
Hey, Strix joined.
Pitch check.
Who check?
I'm trying to look it up. It's
Good
not
check,
even-
36.2.
It is an airburst.
Oh,
Yeah, I was gonna say.
CSP, we get the top right hand corner of the map again.
And using airburst.
So who's winning training today?
Striker.
How you would sit in
Striker is winning
airburst.
training. I'm ground
Sure.
team lead.
I
Souls is my
pressed T.
ATL. We have 9
And then it wouldn't
Gun
detonate
and
at the
Demon as
thing.
medics.
But it'll
Buddy, you've got
also it's probably just a
Blake,
frangible, so it
MG.
hits and just has more shrapnel.
Mr. Pliskin is a reserve, so he's going to go to basic, right?
Yeah.
And then where is the other person?
Dave
One
on
person
mine?
basic.
Dave is
What, Nash?
Dave's winning
South.
basic and he's over there next to the bushes.
Yeah.
You're talking
Alright.
about Nash?
He's came with
Where's
himself
Mr.
in the
Pliskin?
bushes.
Pliskin.
Yeah.
Come here.
Go with
Follow the man
Muskets.
with the kukri.
I heard you were dead.
I never died.
He was never dead.
Heroes never die.
Never next explosion.
But no, heroes either die a legend or come a villain.
That is very true. And Destructor is dead.
You don't have money to pay for that line.
I don't want to have to listen.
Strix
Think about not
just
being able to
disconnected.
connect.
Destructive
No, that thing's
disconnected.
been reused so many times.
Yeah, you're
It's
connected. That's good.
Here it is.
shiny, sparkling toilet paper.
Careful, you might jinx him.
Alright, let's move over here.
I watched the little bit of Cougars thing, and I came over to the part where y'all
Yep.
sent off
Uh,
or whatever, watching them come on.
memorable moment.
You're coming in, going, I shall add you all to the list.
Check.
Think mothers need a hug.
Do you think Mothers needs a hug?
No, he's just setting up training and stuff. He just needs. I mean, if we'll sit down
So
around
we
him,
can
he'll
have
be.
a powwow today, aren't we? Oh, okay. Oh yeah, there's our powwow.
Ooh.
Nice. This is gonna work.
Yeah. I have doubt about that chair. But it's pretty nice than others that they give us a little sunscreen and some chair, a campfire.
I like how Wolfies and Romney the Animals actually sitting in their chairs.
That's how we know we're in the good squad.
No, it's over.
Above our chairs.
Yeah, well, you know, I prefer a hover squat.
This is how I sit. What are you on about?
When you're using the outhouse, but you're not quite sure if all the spiders are dead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, being closer to the rafters is a good idea.
Yeah, not really. Having had to use a long drop several times over the years.
Oh god.
It's not better to be closer to the roof.
There's no way you're not near a spider.
Fucking watching a video the other day. I almost put it into RIM, but because of spiders, I kind of can't. But had talking about how sometimes in Australia it rains spiders. Yeah, it's fun.
Rain, spiders.
Yeah.
They're small enough and light enough, they get picked up.
Yeah, they get picked up by the wind. Because there's certain spiders that live in large, broad webs.
Mm-hmm.
The wind blows through at a decent click and picks up the spiders and just flings them. Not particularly pleasant.
Some days where it just rains fish in America. The tornadoes sucking him up.
Ah, yes. That's certainly what I would equate with raining spiders. This is fish. I suppose if it's a rockfish or jellyfish, then I'd fucking have concern.
There's an apocryphal story about one time in, I think it was California. They were fighting a fire, and they found a scuba diver in the fire line.
What?
And the best they could figure out, dead. I mean, obviously dead. But dead as if he'd been dropped from the sky. And the best they figured that he had been scooped up by one of the tankers that was making water drops on the fire and was. I don't know that I necessarily believe that story. But I haven't ever seen anything to actively prove it either.
You're out having a fucking swim, just chilling out, relaxing, enjoying the sun and the day. It's a bit smoky, but you're okay. You're miles away from the. Oh God, what's going on?
Mm-hmm.
I've just been picked up in a bucket, roughly large enough to carry me, my extended family, and our next door neighbours, and I'm being dropped onto a fire like a creme brulee.
I don't know that I really believe it. You know, as we had a saying in the fire service.
It could happen.
You know the difference between a fairy tale and a fire service story. Fairy tale starts off once upon a time. Fire story starts off, no shit, there I was.
This one time.
I'm gonna go look for darkness real quick and see where he's at and if anyone else has joined.
I'm gonna take this time to make a cup of tea.
What the fuck is Saber doing?
Saber stuff?
And fucking Alpha.
Trust falls.
Trust them to catch me.
Rust falls. Why not?
They're trying to push us over anyways.
What? What the fuck? That still hasn't actually properly loaded in. So they're all set around the helipad H in a circle. Well, not sat, they're all standing. Musket's sitting, the rest of them standing. I have no idea what the fuck they're doing or why. We're waiting for that. Anyway. How are we, lads?
Fucking exhausted, to be honest.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's been a week.
Has it?
Yep. Lots of good, but a lot. Yeah, I think I'm gonna call it an early night and go to bed at a reasonable rate and just turn off all my alarms. Catch up a little bit.
That's fair.
You've been up like, playing Stompies all week.
Yeah, I've been.
Not all week, but definitely last. I had an early appointment today, so I didn't get a lot of sleep. I did have fun though. Dude, the Niner Scout Brigade segment where we
Yeah.
all took atlases was
The LRM 138.
ridiculous amount of fun.
It was overboard, and then the third LRM started off, and you were just like, "That's beautiful."
Yeah, I really like using atlases for LRM boats.
I had never done it before, so it's a new thing. Yeah, there's something about an LRM 60 Artemis 4 Atlas that just evaporates next. It's a thing of beauty.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Hello, Bertha.
Hi, Burford.
Nah, he's not that far away. I don't think.
You need a chair.
Well, Darkness in the chair anyway. He's just over at the next island. Just that next island over. Almost straight over from me. Grab a chair for Darkness. Chair for Darkness. Where the actually is he? Alright, I'm going to continue on without Darkness for now. Him and Belhan will just have to catch up. Alright, so I want to talk today about how we all feel the squad's doing. Bit of a back and forth over dialogue. Bit of a nice little chit chat. We don't do many of these, and something I would like to start doing a little bit more of is just having a bit of a frank, open discussion. If there's anything that anyone wants to mention as a problem, possibility, or whatever else that they want to have a chat about, something that we think we need to improve upon. There's additional bits after this as well for me to bring up to you. So. Anyone have anything they think that Phoenix needs to improve upon, or anything else anyone wants to bring up?
I think so.
That's all right. I don't expect that this is going to have something to be said every week, so in that way, it's not too bad. Something that I want you all to have a look at, and better put it into Phoenix Squad Chat, or Phoenix Bunker in Discord. This is the new proposed layout for Phoenix. I want you all to have a quick look at it.
I put on my reading glasses to be able to read that. That's tiny.
Yeah, I do apologize. That's I had to expand that across the full height of my second monitor to be able to actually take a screenshot of it in one piece.
It's no longer.
I take it the very top of it's a different squad.
No, the very top of it is Phoenix Command.
No, Command,
What
okay.
I'm saying is it's taking away our sub teams and just making us one big squad.
So, what's that doing? What that's doing is breaking down how the teams are, how the in quotations teams are displayed on the website into Phoenix Command element, the senior NCOs, the junior NCOs, and then everyone else. So the concept behind it is to help sort of streamline from the start of a mission who is involved in chain of command where. Help streamline that process, because we're going to start falling more into teams every week, and because our attendance is so variable on who actually turns up. Like, there's a core group of people who turn up every week, and a lot of the folk who are here are in that core group, and I really appreciate the fact that you do that. The idea is that because everything changes for us from one week to the next in terms of how we lay out, how we do jobs, who we assign where, the concept of this is to allow us to help get used to the fact that things change every week, but also to sort of hammer in the fact that we do have a constantly varying group of team leads or whatever else every week. So Raven consistently every week is usually an Arma commander. It doesn't make sense to keep him in Team 1 team lead slot, but he needs team lead authority. Thank you, Wolfie. So he needs the authority of team leader to be able to operate as Arma commander. So the idea here is that having a element that is just the team leads, because we all end up folding into a thing anyway. It's just as a demonstration, like a show at the start that, okay, this is Phoenix. This is who is in what slots. Okay, this is the JNCOs, this is the SNCOs. All the grunts are in the lists. This is where the command element is. Help cut down on the chaff and help sort of try and streamline that command process. helps with visual aids, it helps with all that sort of shit. Does anyone have any questions so far? Take your time to think of anything if you need to.
So let me reframe what I just heard to make sure I'm understanding what you're coming. So you're basically organizing the squads in forms of the chain of command and those who are going to have functional authority, and then the rest is kind of more fluid, is going to be parceled out according to the mission role that we have.
Sort of, yeah. So the actual teams and things, this is sort of a recognition of the fact that the teams every week chop and change and adjust depending on what's required from the mission.
Like we're switching one of the auto rifleman slots for an ammo bearer.
Is there any chance that you could post each bit separately so we can see what they are?
You can open it up on your
I still can't really see it. It's fine.
Bolt controls and
So
scrolling.
the top element is squad command. So it still stays, that bit stays the same. It's still squad lead, sergeant, corporal, medic, and medic. The next part down is the SNCOs, and that's 4 team lead slots. Under that is the JNCOs, which has got 4 team second soul, team assistant team lead slots. It's got 4 corpsman slots. It's got the JTAC and it's got the sniper. The last section, which is just basically affectionately being called grunts, is 3 engineer slots, an EOD, marksman, essentially 5 SWOs. Got 5 automatic rifleman slots and 2 ammo bearers. This box will not let me put fortified tools down, that's upsetting me.
And this may be a stupid question, but what's the difference between an auto rifleman and a heavy weapons man?
Heavy weapons operator is just basically a special weapons operator. It's just a fancy name for the same thing.
Okay.
Auto riflemen are restricted purely to LMGs, so 5.56. I think they can take 7.62 machine guns, but it's usually 5.56 machine guns. Special weapons operators can take anything up to HMGs, so you're talking 50 calibers, you're talking 338, you're talking 7.62. They can take AT as a separate job. They can be grenadiers, they can be a lot of different roles, but as long as they're only sticking to a single one of those roles at any time. So at the moment, Pure Tide is a special weapons operator, technically. I say technically because he does do a lot of the same duties as what I would expect from an assistant team lead. He does that for Raven currently. Any other questions popping up, lads?
Yeah, I'm kind of translating it in my head as I view everything from a public safety standpoint. So we don't normally deal with TOEs so much as functional things like incident command structure. Keep hearing echoes of the incident command system where you will have functional boxes. Let me copy real quick so you can look at it while I'm talking. So we'll have something like that kind of structure that can be fleshed out or not according to the incident's requirements. You will almost certainly never have any of those, never have all those boxes filled for any one incident, unless it's a, like federal level incident or multiple operational period one. But it kind of sounds to me like the incident commander roles are always going to be filled, and then the section chiefs are going to be filled, whether or not their sections are actually fleshed out. And then people will be plugged into the different task force and strike teams and whatnot, according to the needs of the incident. That kind of sounds like what you're saying also. As far as the flexibility, but maintaining a chain of command.
Yeah, that's sort of what I'm going for, yeah. That is a significant part of it, yeah. Fuck, should have gotten more sleep last night. I have run this by VJ because I still very much consider Phoenix to be VJ's squad. I'm not sure if you guys have actually noticed that or realised that, but I still very much consider myself to be sort of a steward holding Phoenix in place for VJ when he gets back to being able to squad lead. So ran it by him. He actually really likes the idea. He's given it his full seal of approval. I've spoken with Darman about it, mostly because Darman wouldn't shut up about changing how Phoenix was laid out anyway. He's very much agree with it, even though he's currently on break and not in squad sergeant role. Spoken with a couple other folk about it as well. They've all relatively agree with it. They weren't really involved in how we'll be using the system. Well, actually, that's not true. Raven and Puretide not being here today, I've sent both of them. Ooh, rough for that one. I've sent both of them a copy of this so they can have a look. Neither of them have really had any problems with it so far. And look, if at the end of the day, if this fucks up and blows up in our faces after a couple of weeks, there's nothing wrong with us changing back to the old system. This is a test. This is a change process and a bit of a changing it up just to see if it will work for us as a squad. While I very much hope that it will, I'm not going to assume from the get-go that it will work exactly as I hope it will.
Actually, I did think of one piece of feedback. It's not directly related to this, but it kind of is.
Yep.
So I don't know how familiar you are with the term span of control.
Repeat that one again, Slaughter.
Span of control.
Span of control.
Yeah. So
Okay, I've not heard of it.
Span of control is a concept that we use in the fire service and military uses too. You basically, the rule of thumb is that any one person supervising a unit should have no more than 3 to 5 people directly reporting to them. Because if they try to have more people talking directly to them, then they will exceed their span of control and they'll be less effective.
Okay.
So that kind of, the diagram, the ICS diagram I posted up there is kind of, it's also got span of control built into it. So you'll see that like the incident commander will only ever really have like 4 people max talking to him directly.
Yeah, the 4 section leads.
Yeah. Or if he's not using the section leads, then he may very well have a operational chief, or operational commander that's then overseeing, 3 to 5 sections of the operations, or the incident may never exceed his span of control, in which case he may directly control, all the subunits himself. But there's the flexibility built into it.
Well, that's kind of why we've only got 4 team leads in that list. Not necessarily because I expected that span of control was something that existed. Like, I had no idea that was actually a term. It was more of a fact that I'm becoming aware of my limitations and how many people I could directly assign orders and things to. That's part of other changes as well that are coming down as well, in regards to how the Phoenix Command team will be operating in the future. So that's in particular why I was asking if you were going to be here today, Wolfie. So, kind of aware of the concept, wasn't aware it was actually a defined thing. It probably shouldn't be surprised that it is. Thank you for giving a name to a text. That does actually help me a little bit. So, not intentional, but it is kind of baked into the current current layout as well.
I could see that's kind of what you were going for, is that you were trying to limit the amount of people that directly responded to one person, because that can lead to that person being overwhelmed pretty easily, especially if they're actually involved directly in combat. Then your level of span of control goes way down. If you're actively engaging the enemy or fighting a fire or whatever, your span of control may only be yourself and 2 or 3 others.
If I may be so bold, usually my problem is not so much how many people I'm leading when the combat shit hits the fan. It's all the other responsibilities over 7-2 that come up when you start shooting people in someone else's country, that start popping up, that start taking my awareness and focus away from what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
So when I'm having to have squad lead meetings or whatever else, and I'm trying to understand what the fuck Saber is actually wanting, and then I start hearing shit over 6-1 to me, that's when I start getting snappy, because it's too much and I'm trying to just filter. And that's, I apologise, but that's why I snapped at you guys last week, Romney.
Yeah,
I know you don't much particularly mind and you're kind of used to it by now, but it was just a sort of a recognition that, yeah, I'm becoming a little bit more stressed at the moment with things, and I'm trying to reduce how much of that stress is going to be affecting me in the future. I've already had a member of command do a welfare fucking check on me, so that was a fun conversation.
For my non-leading role in this, as a member of Phoenix, but I haven't ever done that. I think that you're going down the right route. I think your job needs to be formulating the strategy, not ordering the implementation of it. That's what your assistant squad leaders or your team leaders or whatever title that you're going to give to them. They're the people that you hand the task off to, and then they assign it to the people, and then they report back to you when it's done or when it's not done. They can get.
I'm so glad you think so.
They can give you, we have reports that we call CAN reports. What are the conditions I'm seeing? What are the actions I'm taking? What do I need? You can break down a really complex situation into a really short radio conversation if you do it that way. And your biggest job for us getting us into combat is making sure that we're ready to be there, and that we can do our jobs without you having to supervise us directly. That's my opinion.
I agree with you 100%. It was like my words coming from your mouth, actually. It was a little bit scary, Tex.
Just you wait until he starts singing with you.
Oh, did the boss end up reciting you the poem? I have to ask.
What?
That's a no.
He
Right,
may
next
have.
time you guys are playing MechWarrior Co-op and I see it, I need to make a comment.
Oh, okay. Oh, the poem, yeah. The AI
Oh, he
poem?
did?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay.
Oh, it was marvelous.
Yeah, so he was going to send it to you. I said, no, don't send it to him. He goes, why not? I went, read it to him next time you play it together. And he's like, yeah, okay, that's a better idea. I've deleted it now. I'm going to recite it to him when I get the chance.
This was weird, because I briefly saw a message from him, but didn't have a chance to read it, and then I turned around and it was gone, and I was like, what on earth? Okay.
Yeah, that's my fault.
No, that was great. Yeah. That's all I get to comment on it, but happy to my 2 cents in.
Does anyone else have a couple of cents to put in? I don't mind. If it's negative, if it's positive, if it's whatever. This is open and free form, lads.
I understand the reason for Corman being there, sort of as a, medically we need to do this kind of overriding. But there are still people in in like your heavy weapons, special weapons positions that are going to be better as like very dependent site leads. Say everyone else is down, and they have to make a call. But that's just remaining fluid. So
that's what I'm kind of hoping the ATLs will stand up and be.
no.
That's why that role exists, is to take over that when the team lead is down or whatever else. I understand your point, and it's something that I've discussed with, I think it was Runic. The corpsmen are in JNCO region because they directly report to medics in the command squad, or the command team.
Gotcha.
And they need some sort of authority over riflemen. At the end of the day, like a corpsman's authority is sort of dependent or drawn from their team leader and the situation that you're in. Team leader needs to know when to step back and let the corpsman take care of the situation or lead the situation, whatever else. And if the corpsman can't get their team leader to understand that there is a situation that they need to deal with, and that things need to do whatever, and the team leader needs to either take that step back or shift focus and priorities, they can go to the squad medic and say, hey, this is happening. This situation's no fucking good. And the medic can make the call to sort of chain down if needed. Because it's a medical situation, medics are involved. The medic can help make that final call for the squad lead. Because the medic draws their authority directly from the squad lead, where the corpsman draws their authority from the team lead. Does that make sense?
Crystal.
Yep.
So that you're aware, lads, this layout is being implemented from tomorrow for now. So Dave has very kindly agreed to put it into his op at short notice. I didn't expect him to. I kind of wanted him to start it from next week. But he said, I can put that in for this weekend. I went, oh, okay.
That means he knows how it works, and he doesn't have to spend a week trying to figure it out.
Well, he's running it on the cat box, so he doesn't need to poke Addy with a new mission file. Is more the point. I really wish I could get fortified tools to fucking work. I should do it. Alright, so something else with the new layout coming through, something I want to talk about is the roles of Squad Sergeant and Squad Corporal. Well, as I said before, Wolfie, this is why I kind of wanted you at least at the meeting, or not. If not, I could talk to you about it. So, moving forward, what I'd like those two roles to be doing is that Squad Corporal and Squad Sergeants won't be leading teams anymore. So in the past, they've been sort of a glorified team leader. That will be changing. They will be very much more of a squad, like an assistant squad lead, than they are a glorified team lead. So my expectation on squad corporals and squad sergeants will no longer be leading grunts or JNCOs or whatever else. They will be helping to keep the squad organised when I'm indisposed. So if I'm at a squad lead meeting or whatever else, my expectations of the squad lead, the squad sergeants and corporals would be things like getting logistics sorted out, making sure everyone's got equipment fitted for their roles, helping to split the squad up into just basic teams that can be then shifted around when the specific plan comes down, and basically helping to keep that squad cohesion when I'm unavailable from 7-2 or whatever else is going on. What was that?
Does segmenting radio help with that?
It's going to help in part with that, yes.
Cool.
So part of the segmenting with radio that's going to be coming down is that team leads will be on 6-1 and their own team nets. Darkness is finally here. Almost like the striker then. That would have been good.
Hello, Darkness.
Hello, Darkness, my old friend.
Hello. You get the toasty seat.
We can move it, it's up to you.
I really need to interrogate someone how not to float.
Not to float.
Because 5 of us are still floating.
Oh.
6 now.
You're floating too, Darkness.
So we're just having a bit of a chat about where the squad's at, where the squad's going. Sort of where we're hoping things will go for the squad or what we want from the squad. Any problems we've noticed that need to be addressed. And new changes coming down.
Yeah.
So, if you have Discord on your phone, because I know sometimes alt tabbing can break for you. I think it's you that breaks it. Phoenix Bunker's got a layout in there. It's the one that Wolf is reacted to with the Pepe.
Yeah, that
That's looking to be the new layout for Phoenix going forward from this week.
Yeah.
Sort of a more decentralized structure and putting a bit more onus on folk helping out in places. That makes sense.
So basically just slots to be built however need be. That's what we do anyway.
Yeah, very much so. It sort of helps streamline the fact that teams every week are adjusting and changing and chopping up and whatever else. It's also there to help whoever is running a squad lead for that mission. In that there's going to be 4 team leads that the people that you directly go to, and maybe the ATLs if there's situations that team leads caught up in. Sort of making a more streamlined command structure, because I've become aware that over the last couple of months actually, with the numbers that we're starting to get with Phoenix every op, I'm starting to lose track and starting to lose control or whatever else of where things are going, and it's starting to kind of actually really bug me, but it's to help solve that and the stresses that are put on whoever's in squad lead.
Okay.
So really quickly, continuing what I was saying about squad sergeant and corporal, my hope and expectation is that whoever takes over squad sergeant role, and if Wolfie no longer wants it, squad corporal, is that will be their role week in, week out, regardless of who the squad lead is. The idea being that you've got 2 people who are experienced in how the squad functions and works in its internals, alongside the squad lead to help run the squad. So if, for example, I'm not there for a week because I've got personal shit going on or whatever else, or I just need a week off, someone from maybe the team lead section, so the SNCO section, can step up into squad lead, and they've still got 2 experienced individuals there who can go, okay, we'll get this ready and done while you go and have the squad lead meeting. We'll assign squads and whatever else. We know how the squad works from the top down. We can help you lead the squad continuously. So part of their jobs will be, not always, but sometimes doing the green, yellow, red checks that we do. So if they notice that I've not been, or the squad lead hasn't been doing a green, yellow, red check, they can come back and go, okay, squad, give us a green, yellow, red check. All team leads check in with their teams, get back to us. And that takes a little bit of the burden off of the squad lead to continue to do, as Tex said, the strategic element planning. So the squad sergeant and corporal's jobs are not to take over the team from the team leader. So there's going to be times where, say for example, the mission we had a couple of weeks ago where I was sat having to have a chat with Extortionist and Omega midway through the mission. And in that sort of instance, the squad sergeant and corporal's jobs will be to go, hey, Team 2, can I get you to set up some trenches somewhere, please? Just somewhere. And then it's the team leader's job to decide where those trenches go and what they're doing. Does that all sort of make sense so far on what I'm hoping from Sergeant and Corporal? Bellend incoming. Does it not make sense, or do you guys have an issue with what I've said anywhere?
tired of me trotting out concepts from the fire service, let me know. But one of the things that baked into that is what we call personnel accountability reports, which is basically what your green, yellow, red is.
Yep.
And there's some efficiencies about the ways we can do it. But what I'm hearing is like and maybe it's because in Arma 3 it may be more efficient for your medics to be your sort of first line of accountability because they get indications when people are hurt. But anytime like some major event happens or something, then you can just call for, a PAR or your green, yellow, red, and then have the individual team members check with their teams and then just report back, Team Alpha's green.
That's exactly what I'm sort of hoping for with that.
Rather than going down the entire roll call. And it can be as simple as, the squad, the section leader, and look around and go, okay, I can see him, and him. I got everybody is counted for. They're all up. Section 2 is green. It'll make it a lot quicker.
That is exactly what I'm hoping for. Is that I can call, or the squad sergeant corporal can call on 6-1 to the other team lead, to the actual team lead, and say, hey, do a green, yellow, red, get back, or check back, whatever. And then they can, on their own team nets, go, right, okay, green, yellow, red, check, guys, who's up, who's not. I can see you and you, where the fuck are you? Like, person 3, where are you? Okay, you're in that bush there. Okay, team 4, member 4, where are you? Oh, you've got a bullet in your leg. Okay. That's going to affect how fast the team overall is moving. Team lead, this is team 2. We've got yellow on movement or whatever. But it's going to help collate all that information together and sort of streamline all the processes in Phoenix is my expectation and hope. So very similar to what you've just described, but slightly shifted to allow for how Phoenix operates. Is my hope.
I think the biggest buy-in that you need to get, and I think this is what you're asking for, and maybe it needs to be more nakedly stated, is that to implement this, you're going to need each member to take personal responsibility that we're comfortable and operate. We're so comfortable with the way the system's working that we just are able to slot in wherever you need us to, and we don't have to be overly supervised because that we're just going to be able to do our jobs and that we're going to fit into that system seamlessly. And that's really kind of the only way it starts working without hitches, hiccups, and breakdowns, especially once you start taking casualties.
So with the actual roles and things of the grunts, everyone's role is still going to be predetermined before you actually join the mission. Like that doesn't change when the mission profile changes. It just changes what Phoenix can do within that profile. So, for example, if you and Romney, they're the ones who turn up text, and it's I've got an engineer and a medic. That's it. That's all Phoenix can handle is engineering and a medic. So Phoenix's role changes based on who turns up.
Mm-hmm.
If there is enough people to turn up that there is 2 teams, then what starts coming down is, okay, team 1, for example, let's go, team 1's under Raven. Raven, I'm giving you 2 engineers, the EOD, Coolman. That's your team. Okay, Boone, you're the other team. Okay, you've got the sniper, the marksman, and you've got the JTAC. And a Coolman. It's so that the expectation going into a mission isn't that the teams are going to be predetermined when we go in. It's to get everyone used to running with different team leaders every now and again. Different roles and jobs aren't going to really change so much, in that everyone who has a role going in, is already going to be doing that role when you get in there. I may have just terribly explained that, but I'm on fuck all sleep.
I got it.
I think last stop during the parts where we were running into radio jamming areas was a perfect example of that.
Yes,
Because
yes.
you were able to identify, okay, so here's the plan, here's your role in the plan, here are the benchmarks I want to achieve, and here is the location you need to fall back to if we lose comms. Go and do your job. Come back and report to me if you need more assets or more resources. And it really kind of worked seamlessly, even between two teams. I was super impressed with it.
I was too. You want to know something, Tex? This layout was born in the hours after that mission. The new changes and ideas and things that I want to move forward with have come from that mission.
I bet it's pretty good to not constantly be badgered on the radio the whole time.
Well, yes and no. Yes, in that I knew that I didn't need to check over the radio every now and again for feedback all the time, and I could just flick a message off to Wolfie or Raven and say, "Hey, how yous doing?" And usually the response I got back was just good from Wolfie. There was no other fucking message.
Still laughed because Wolfie was with me. I still laughed when he told me that there was a big ass ASCII stuff in the message.
Yeah, some of the information we were provided wasn't exactly accurate, but you're looking for a wooden box with an antenna at the top. Okay, pass it down. That's not a wooden box. That's all I was given, Wolfie.
Yeah, that's what we were discussing. It was like wooden box with an antenna on top. Okay, how big is the wooden box? You know, all we got back was a wooden box. It was like, okay, cool.
That was all he gave me. He's like, a wooden box the same size as a large wooden box. I'm like, motherfucker, what?
Yeah.
Small bowl the size of a large stone. Yeah, good on you. Yeah, moving forward, Wolfie. With what I've laid out from what I'm hoping for, shit. Alright, Bellin just messaged me saying he's ready for teleport.
Hey.
And bye.
Just realized there's 32 painkillers in my pocket.
How many painkillers?
32.
Jesus
all those
fucking
Technically
Christ,
320. Yeah,
Wolfie's
you might have
carrying around
32
a
packets of
pharmacy.
painkillers, but where's your
You
CTAP?
carry more than I do.
We found the drug lord.
What the fuck?
And I carry extra.
That
I think
was
it's the result of...
liver failure in a box.
You are aware there's like 10 in each?
Yes. I think what happened is the arsenal didn't look like it was incrementing, but it actually was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't have
I
to.
have
Those
those
things,
things.
yeah.
Pneumonium carbonate does that. You just have to remember how many. Oh, guys, we have met for
Find it in
for
magazines.
tomorrow.
What?
The Vivians is in the arsenal for Dave's campaign. German World War II meth.
Oh, fuck.
Oh boy.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure it does nothing, right?
No,
Oh, no,
Bella's
it-
actually sitting down properly.
It'll increase your blood pressure and heart rate.
I
Because
should know
it's
how to sit
meth.
down, guys. Come on.
Nothing else.
Well,
because
we're
it's
sorry that we've got anti-grav implanted in our
Yeah, you
ass
don't
because
lose
we've
your
spent
teeth or
too much
anything.
time unconscious near zero.
You guys didn't uninstall those? Like, I gave the options. It was in, you guys didn't see the form? I typed it out, you know? I typed
Yeah,
out,
next
like,
time don't leave the form on the inside of the toilet block. We ran out of TP.
Really? Because you're supposed to read it, like, you don't read as you wipe?
I didn't run out of DD,
not
but
usually.
I just used a Goodle tube.
No. Okay, I'll find a new tactic for next time.
Goodle tubes, man.
Anyway, Wolfie,
Mhm.
with the concept and whatever else I've laid out for what I'm sort of wanting from squad corporals and sergeants, is that still a role that you would want?
Oh yeah, that sounds fine.
Okay. That makes my life a little bit easier. I don't need to find a replacement squad corporal as well as a replacement squad sergeant. Are you happy with the fact that it means that you don't need to lead a team or the squad at all at any stage?
Yeah, that's fine.
No worries. So, short rundown for Bellin.
Yes, thank you. Please.
There is a new squad layout coming down the pipe in terms of how we all organise at the start of missions, and it's going to hopefully help us streamline chain of command and such through missions.
Okay.
So it's been placed into, what Romney just fucking tagged you on.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I see that.
I understand it's small, I've already copped it, don't worry.
Open in browser. Use your typical zooming in features. Enhance.
For some reason, it won't actually open in my browser. Like, it put the link in the browser, but it's not actually showing an image. So, having fun there.
Burford apparently very much likes our tent. It's very cozy, and he thinks that he needs to get one because he's because all he had was a shack with a couple of destroyed boats.
I mean,
Okay, I just imported it into my paint thing.
the clunkiest of workarounds.
The man denies the chair.
I'm about to put a chair in front of him.
It's okay, my filthy peasant. I'll sit on the floor.
Not like this. Yeah, no,
Sit in
I'm.
the sun.
If I'm understanding,
That's what you want.
Just keep moving it on him.
The chair hasn't gone, it's just moved.
No, it's okay, I'm a peasant. I'll sit on the floor.
That's fair enough.
Don't let me disturb you.
For those of you who aren't used to Burford, which I think is only because Cougar and Tack, because you ran roads through Basic and forgot about it.
Yes.
Who ran road through what? Sorry, what?
Talking about Burford on my left.
Matters. Somebody's on the 6-1 on very far away. I think it's another one of our teams.
Not sure who it is, but they're very garbled.
Yeah, they're pretty far away.
I'm not on my radio set because I wasn't expecting to talk on it. Numbers on 6-1 to whoever the fuck's trying to contact me. What do you want?
This is Reaper. I'm just trying to figure out where you guys are at.
That's Reaper.
We're at the beach.
Yeah, just helm around a beach. Wait 60 minutes for him to get a helo and check every beach.
Scour every fucking beach.
Jeez.
You want me just to TP him here?
That's a bit mean. Don't egg him either.
Well, there.
There.
Oh,
Those
okay.
those might explain later.
Have a chair. Thank you, Tex. Probably should have done that myself, but I didn't think about it.
And then use crows to recolor it purple.
Half of us are sitting on the chair, anti-grab. 3 of us are sitting down on the actual chair. Reaper's standing on it.
I have to be special.
Are you playing Star
no
Citizen?
comment.
Because I have a Star Citizen vibe looking at you.
That's... Yeah, that actually, yeah.
Yeah.
I recognize it.
Yeah, that tracks.
Can you just jump up and down and say trampoline?
Trampoline.
I did mean in game, but
Oh no! Oh no!
Broke it.
For fuck's sake.
Watch me get armored
I'm
and
not
die.
fixing them.
You wanted to be special?
Yeah, I'm not even.
I've got it.
So,
There you go.
for those who missed it, new layout coming down as Texas just helpfully broke it up a little bit into the chat for me. So, help streamline the command structure and sort of lay out a little bit easier who's in what role in the actual command structure. So we're going from 3 team leads to 4. Those team leads are going to have a little bit more responsibility than they have in the past in terms of actually leading folk around about doing things. The squad sergeants and corporals are going to be doing a lot more in terms of helping the squad lead the squad. And team leads are going to have assistant team leads to help them with their teams when situations are not pleasant. Let me put it that way. We're going to be moving more towards a decentralized command structure and moving more towards each team having its own comnet where team leads are listening to both their team comm and their squad comm. Anyone who's missed the chat so far have any questions on that?
That sounds about right.
Is there still any questions amongst those who have been here the whole time?
It's not a question so much as I have one minor concern. I don't know if you're going to have a default where you're going to break down each team into its own subnet, but I think that there's a potential of us losing the bigger picture a la Phoenix if we're only hearing a quarter of the conversation. We shouldn't have that many people talking on it per se, but I know that I glean a lot listening to 6-1 even if I'm not talking back.
So this system that I'm looking at doing doesn't stop people who are in what I'm affectionately actually referring to as grunt roles right now, because I don't mind being a grunt myself. Those who are in grunt roles doesn't mean you can't listen to 6-1. Doesn't mean you can't sit on that net and listen in. My preference going forward is that the only people who are talking on 6-1 to keep the chatter down is the team leads and the squad command. We're one of those squads which is really rather unique in that we have a lot of channels to listen to across the entire squad. So, from an overall squad perspective, we have an additional 2 channels to listen to more often than not that other squads don't have, and that's 8.5 and 8.7. That's ArmorNet and ArtilleryNet. Saber's armor elements don't listen to 8.5. They're not required to. They're a squad level asset. They're not a unit level asset like we leave our tanks to be. With our tanks being unit level assets, they have to listen to 8.5. So moving forward, when someone's denoted as being with an armor for a team, like a team is going to be just armor support, their team net's going to be 8.5. That's the net they're actually going to communicate with each other on, is 8.5, to help streamline the amount of nets that people need to listen to. Because team leads, let's remember, team leads still need to listen to 7.2, but they're not talking on it. So you've got, for example, let's go with Raven, because Raven, we all know what Raven likes to do, and that's command from a tank. well, gun from a tank, whatever else. So his nets right now are going to be 6-1 squad net, 8-5 armor net, and 7-2 command net. And then there's every opportunity or every chance that he might also need to listen to 6-0 convoy net. I don't want to have to give him another team net to listen to, because he's going to get well overwhelmed with what he's got already.
It's a lot of voices.
It's a lot of voices. Especially if 6-0 is fucking popping like half the time when we run convoys and command net goes fucking dead quiet. One of my biggest pet peeves with convoy net right now is that all of a sudden all the team leads and everyone else is just communicating on 60, and all the team leads or squad leads that don't use 60 because they're not driving suddenly are out of the loop. Then you've got whoever's running artillery if the mission calls for it. We've got your 6-1 squad net again, you've got 8-7 artillery net, you've got 7-2 command net. Very rarely going to be on 6-0 because we don't usually operate artillery from a convoy. It's not real fun. So you've still got 3 nets there that artillery needs to be observing. So the regular rifleman and grunt / whatever are going to be needing to be communicating and chatting on their team net. So, for example, 6.1.1 or 0.2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. And then you're going to have, if they want to, they can listen in on 6.1. I'm going to request that those who do listen on 6.1 are only using it in the event that their team lead goes down, they need to communicate with squad command, hey, look, Raven's unconscious, need just a little bit of time or whatever else. So I still want you guys listening to it. I don't want you to completely ignore that 6.1's there. Because as you said, Tex, there's a lot of information you're going to get by listening to the 6.1, even if you're not talking on it. And I do understand that and appreciate that and don't want to take that away from you guys, because it's part of what helps you guys maintain cohesion and sort of premeditate what I'm going to want from you. But on the same time, I don't want to have us split into all this team and do all this work in terms of streamlining the process and making it more linear in the chain of command, to then just have everyone talking on 6.1 again anyway. That kind of defeats the purpose of having this.
It made me a training need on my part too, because normally I'm on 6.1 and then I'm also sitting on an 8.3. I'm in an EOD kit, and then then I'll do vehicle radio on 6.0 and 8.5, and I'm running out of alternate channels, but maybe that's something I can work with on somebody.
That might just be down to having to reduce your workload, because I rely on you a hell of a lot. I'm aware of that, Tex. I rely on you a fuckload. You've become my third gopher, and that's not a derogatory term that some people think it is. My first gopher was Ciro. My second gopher so far has been Pure Type. You've become my third gopher. And funnily enough, Romney's actually working his way slowly into being a gopher.
Yeah, but I know what you mean at the end of that one.
So basically, it's someone who I know that can do pretty much any role that's asked of them. There's quite a few people in Phoenix who have their own little niche that I wouldn't want to ask them to do any other job, because I know how much they enjoy that niche and whatever else. And while you do very much enjoy the niche that you're in, Tex, I'm also aware that you have no issues getting your hands dirty doing other jobs.
Yeah.
But part of that also comes down in that you unfortunately get relied on too much to do too many jobs at once. And I need to stop doing that.
Maybe the flip side of that is maybe I need to go, hey, you know, you got me doing this, this, and this, confirming that's what you need.
Yeah, maybe. We can look at it.
Actually asking if somebody else can step up to cover one of the roles that you're doing, you know?
Oh, that's delegating's hard. I'm not good at that. That's a
You don't have
skill.
to do it. That's where you currently have three plates in the air, and they're trying to add a fourth because they know you can do it, and they don't have to walk you through it.
Oh, yeah, well, that's why I've used roads here the last couple of ops is sort of doing a lot of the stuff so I don't have to. I mean, I don't need to be personally driving the engineer Vic and doing a bunch of other things if I'm keeping plates in the air. That's a good lesson for me to remember.
How do you like shadowing tech squads?
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Good, you'll be there a while now.
Sorry, I kind of set you up for that.
Yeah, that's alright.
No, he got set up for that when none of the actual engineers were here, and we were like, hey, do you want to be an engineer?
And I said I was fine with being an engineer from then on, so...
Do you want to be an NG?
Is that training?
No.
What, engineering?
Yeah.
No, not so
There's
much.
EOD training for...
There is EOD training, but it doesn't cover being basically the mechanical bitch. Grease monkey.
Okay. Cool. I forget.
So, we've got a lot of people in Phoenix who are capable and trained to be grease monkeys now. So we've got Zero, we've got Raz, we've got Tex. There's several of the other rest of us know bits and pieces about it.
Yeah.
I can do it, but I don't like to. Just climbing all over shit to find that one little spot that you've missed so far because you need to fix the hull, but you can't find the hull point. It's a pain in the ass.
Helicopter rotors.
Oh,
main rotors. They're fun. Do I aim halfway down where the rotor should have been?
Main rotors aren't actually too bad. It's the fucking tail rotors on things like the Comanche.
No, the
They're a
MI,
fucking nightmare.
the
The repair
MI2
point for the
mapping.
Comanche tail rotor is on the top of the tail rotor shrouding.
There's 3 on the MI2. You have to, there's the main, the left, and the right.
Yeah, fair enough. Exactly right, Reaper. If I have to start repairing something, something's gone to shit.
Or you're playing lib.
Or I'm playing a lib, yeah.
Or playing
That's
lib.
another alternative as
Uh,
well. Yep.
I was just having. I don't know if you're gonna get to the medical bit yet, or if you're gonna get to there.
Define the medical bit.
I'm curious on what you like on your on how you want particularly me and many squad mates to operate. If yeah, literally. Like, do you want us to? So, if we're very much decentralized, as we kind of seem to have always been going towards, do we want to have it so? Actually, I don't even know. Like, is there anything a change like that you want me or Minnie to kind of focus on when it comes to squad make? Like radios, for example. What should I be listening to? Because I'm already listening to A2 as an example, but like what squad wise should I be listening?
So that's something that'll be coming through as well. So I kind of want you guys to continue doing what you're doing. So operating the medical vehicle, and I can send you guys out into the field to assist other squads when they call NASCAS. Once I know what the situation is. So there has been situations in the past, Bell, and I won't lie, where I have been frustrated where you run off to go and assist the mass cast with another squad without saying anything. I want to cut down on that because I want to find out what's going on first before I send you.
Right.
I don't want to send you into a situation with a medical vehicle where what's actually happening is they're getting strafed by strategic bombers.
Okay.
Or tactical bombers even. So, well, I don't want to send you into a situation where you might not even reach the enemy's, the friendly's position because you're going to get hit by missiles from air to ground that hasn't actually been identified yet.
That's understandable. Could I have a counter like
Before you
caveat? Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
I am aware that a lot of medical situations are time sensitive.
Yeah.
It's not that I want to stop you from responding to those situations. It's that I want to make sure that you're going to be able to actually get there.
Right.
And that you don't become a medical situation yourself.
Right, okay.
So if you need to respond to a medical situation, I want you to give me 10, 15 seconds to confirm what the situation is and where things are and what's going on before I send you. Because that 10, 15 seconds might save you 3 hours.
Right. I get that. I the one thing I worry about is like when it gets to minutes, where like minutes like matter, right, with medical. So it's like, you know, the sooner I get there, the sooner I can help. Oftentimes what happens is I'm not close enough by default to get there and immediately be able to help. So like, you know, if I'm able to start my way that way while I'm trying to confirm things, like it helps. But right? So I personally want to try to start focusing on like being closer to where the big groups are when it comes to that, but also where like we are. So if we're split up, that's something completely different, right? If we're split up from the rest of the unit for Phoenix reasons, then you know that's more understandable and you know something could be worked around. But you know, if we're closely with the rest of the unit, I really want to try to focus on keeping close to them, you know. So if I'm
I completely understand what you're wanting from this, and like, I don't. For fuck's sake, cheese! What the fuck are you pinging for?
5 chicken.
Is there a base just popping in? Anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, mirror the training server on the my server.
Clarify for everyone, that's my usual response when someone says I'm sorry.
There's a difference between rolling out and getting in a position to roll out as well. So being ready, aim down road, having your engine running, being ready to go, and getting that confirmation that it's safe to go, you know, can happen all at the same time.
Yeah, like I obviously I think I definitely need to make sure I'm talking to you more about where I'm and when I'm moving out for this kind of stuff. So I'll definitely start focusing on trying to make sure that information's actually received by you.
I appreciate
that. Yeah.
Part of what I'm thinking with this, the way this system is going to be going forward, is that there is going to be a need for you to be active and moving regardless. Because each team is going to have a corpsman, maybe 2 if there's not enough people for multiple teams.
Yeah.
So if there's only enough people for 2 teams, we've got 4 corpsmen, and each team has 2 corpsmen. That's just how it's going to work.
Yeah, I
but
do like the
you are still going to have the medical vehicle with the extra medical supplies and other bits and pieces and the higher permissions. You are still going to be bouncing back and forth between the 2 teams and with me And like, there's still going to need to be an open dialogue there, regardless. Because I want to keep an eye on you guys and keep a track of you guys. And part of that's going to be helped and handled by the squad sergeant and corporal. And that's going to be part of their duty, is helping me keep a track of where teams are and where people are. But there's also going to be the element of you're already going to be moving around to help people. If you need to respond to a mass CAS, it's let me know, where are you going, what do they need, what's the situation on the ground, okay, go.
Okay.
I don't know whether we need to streamline how that communication goes. I'd really rather not bring 9-liners into things because that's going to break my brain.
9-liners?
If we need... Okay, so...
Sorry.
9-liners are things... That's okay. 9-liners are things used by the current active militaries of the world, particularly coalition forces. It's basically a 9-line list. Each line has its own input-filled points that you bring in. And when you call for things like CASEVAC or for medical support from like inbound forces, you use a 9-liner. So it's used to identify your position. And then it's ID position, and then status of casualties, number of casualties, like how hot the zone is, which is really important for the CASEVAC guys. Basically a list of information that the people who are coming in know exactly what they're getting into when they reach the situation.
Mm-hmm. I proposed simplified versions before.
We've used simplified versions before. There's actually a mod for it. I'd really rather not get into actually like full-on 9-liners. I'd like to just have a simplified process for that communication, which is something we can work out as we go, Bellin.
Yeah, absolutely.
As long as it's easy to understand and everyone can understand it, it's going to make my life easier. It's going to make your life easier.
Yeah. Perfectly reasonable. I could definitely work around or work with that. Communication definitely can and would be improved on that end. Do you still want, at least on the medical end, for me particularly, then I tend to do it more often, the better version of that I've been doing of medical updates, if we're all in the same team on for the armor group. Yeah, tracker.
If we are all in the same team for the tracker, yes. Because that helps me formulate plans and adjust for what I need. Part of that moving forward will be that each team is going to be getting a colour. Because there is 4 teams, each team is going to be getting a colour, and from now on the command element will be white. In the event that we all do like Blob Squad with the DUI, pardon me. If we use the Blob Squad with the DUI, we're still going to break into teams, but the squad lead element will be still remaining as white. So that means that when we have people who are injured or whatever else, we might be able to, like Bellin will read out, okay, this person's injured, okay, what team are they in? They're in blue team. Okay, blue team lead, what's your situation?
Is red remaining reserved for medics, or is it going to be available as a team color now?
It's going to be available as a team color now.
Okay, good.
So we don't have enough colors to be able to reserve one for a particular role.
Plus we have the icons anyway.
That's what I was about to say. The icons that we've got now for medics mean that it's less necessary to reserve a color.
Yeah.
Real quick though, on that note, Romney, Romney still keeps the thing even with the launcher. Excellent. Okay.
What?
I just want to make sure, because I was actually still just sitting in Zeus while I'm talking to you. I couldn't see what your emblem was next to your name, the DUI tracker.
Oh, okay.
Because you've got a launcher, but you've also got medical perms. I wanted to see if the launcher overrode your medical perm symbol and doesn't.
Yeah, by default, actual permission things like engineer and medic override the other ones. I believe there's a setting for it though.
As long as it stays like that, that's fine.
I got a question.
If you were to fuck with their settings, you should be good.
I got.
I think
Takes
I'm the only
trying
one
to
that
find a
does.
dragonfly.
So, the question kind of now going towards the general medical. So that's staying also more decentralized, where corpsmen are asked to go with particular people as groups are formulated at the beginning of up.
Yeah, as teams are formed and assigned to particular team leads, corpsmen will be assigned to particular teams.
Okay. All right. All right. I'm like
Just so you guys are Just so you guys are aware, I've not voiced it yet, but we do have 2 people coming through for a bit of a working holiday with us this month. We've got Burfoot and we've got Musket are also going to be joining us for the month. So they're going to be chilling with us and just helping us with stuff or running with us for the month.
Ooh.
That'd be interesting.
Running the script so Dave doesn't have
I
to.
mean, to be honest, those 2 are like, in my opinion, the ones I would see most likely transferring to Phoenix full time. Like, I would see that being
I don't.
like more likely. No, I mean, the more likely people. Like, I could see them being like, you know, they're already melding with Phoenix in many ways. And
I've achieved the ability of sitting so incredibly still I'm invisible.
No, we noticed.
I was
no,
like,
I know you're there. I
just
just don't, you know, I
no,
just
you're
like
there.
being very general.
Rude and talking to you in third person directly.
Nothing
Fuck that
goes into
Burford
my
guy.
head. My
Fuck that guy,
reflexes
you know?
are too fast. I would catch it.
Exactly what I've gone for.
I knew you were getting that.
Well, Burford, welcome
I
to
was
Phoenix.
just going to make a
for
comment
month.
of it went over their head, and I went, hang on a minute. There's another comment. Are you having issues with your chair, Tex?
No. I pressed some button and now I can't interact with the chair.
Because you went into fisticuffs mode.
Yeah,
I would define that as a problem with your chair.
I mean, well, you know, sometimes when you're out drinking, you know, sometimes you start fighting with your chair.
No, he broke his chair.
Broke the chair.
I've never fought a chair.
It's gone. And
Which
Will
is
reappears.
surprising.
The mechanic broke the chair and wasn't able to repair it.
No, it shouldn't repair. We should get him a couch.
Get him a lounging chair. Oh, I'm finally sitting down.
There is no couch.
Just get him like a lounging chair.
What were you going to say, sorry, Bellum, before I cut you off?
I think I was talking about Corman.
Maybe.
I was just confirming, like, yeah, I think, fuck. I'm just confirming, Corman-wise, we're still running with the idea that they're going to be also decentralized. What are their comms going to look like? Is it just going to be whatever team they're with? For example, for whatever, like, you know, if it's, you know...
They're medical personnel.
Medical
Like, their
personnel?
primary duty is medical personnel. They're going to have to listen to medical comm, maybe. It depends on how things evolve and how things go moving forward.
Okay.
I'm aware that it's not going to always be reasonable, and there's going to be some sort of process we're going to have to look at in regards to how we look at that.
Along with that, well, actually, something that maybe we could talk about later is also things medical carry and stuff like that. Because I've been trying to personally break some of my bad habits, so.
This is the platform for the discussion.
One of the things moving forward I would like the 2 medics to be able to do is You know those backpacks that I loaded up into the truck's last mission, Bellin?
Yep.
Yeah. I would like you and Minnie at some point to have a discussion about what you guys want in those. Either in Medshed, where I've still got access, or something. Just with the new stuff that's come through, with the new new equipment and new supplies, I would like an updated copy of that, because we used to have a copy of a sheet, basically of these are the most in-demand supplies from medics across the unit. So if we had to have a drop pack, like a quick drop pack, this is what they want. That's easy enough to devise.
Okay, yeah. I mean, to be honest, that is it's still something kind of we're figuring out. We're kind of in like a weird limbo currently because we haven't gotten much chances to work with the broken limb stuff because either people don't turn it on their settings or they don't want it on, and so medics don't get a chance to see. So there's
what it looks like and how to use it. That's fair.
Yeah, and if the general populace of like, you know, how they feel while it being like worked on them for, like we need test ops like that where people get a true feeling of how that would work out during their daily ops and stuff like that. And we've had maybe 2 or 3 of those, but we've had times where we need to adjust settings, so they happen like not as much as we would hope, and like we need to change those shit like that. So like we're at a point where we will just want to work with that more, and like I can already tell there's going to be a good chance that the limb stuff won't actually probably go through, but we at least want to give it a proper try.
To play a bit of devil's advocate on that, you're asking people to enable something that'll take them out of the fight for longer.
I'm not asking for a devil's advocate. I'm just
providing.
That.
I don't care if you're not asking. I'm still going to provide that. You're
I've
asking someone.
That it's probably not going to happen through. Like I'm not here to talk about the medical setting. I'm just mentioning that as of the current point, there is a good chance that that's not going to go through. So it's while we want to try to give it a try, we won't need to update our backpacks as much as we might need to if that update does go through or not. So
I need rum.
It's like 8 in the morning for you. You know what, everyone?
It's a Saturday, and it's
Romney
like
drives me to
10.
morning drinking.
Hey, that's why the other end of gopher is uck yourself.
Cheers. Thumbs up, boys.
That's not the point of. That's not what that means.
I know what it means, but I know what it means for me.
That's all I had to say.
Yeah.
That's fair.
So it'll be a little bit before I get to have a chance to tell you exactly numbers and information on priorities. But I will work on that when when I feel more confident on it.
That's all I want. Yeah, because I had to quick make one last week for that mission, so I do have a thing I can probably export to you with the stuff that was in that pack. But even if it's just a quick pack of shit, I'd like you guys to, at the start of the mission, start just making up a pack each and put it into a car somewhere and then grab your regular loadout.
Yeah, I mean, that kind of goes along with what I normally do with the medical vehicles, so that can kind of go hand in hand with that.
And having it distributed amongst the other vehicles means that should you need it, it's available elsewhere as well.
Yeah.
Well, part of the idea is more that they're carrying it in whatever vehicle they're using, or it's in the vehicle that I'm using. So, moving forward, I'm hoping to more often use a Coyote logistics for Phoenix's command vehicle, because of the additional seats it carries and the fact it carries some logistical crates and it has the extra inventory. It is a really good vehicle to have as a quick move about for me to just either break contact or come and assist a team that's in contact. So being able to carry some of those supplies for the medics are always going to know where I am because I'll be behind Phoenix or whatever else. So medics can always get to me and go, hey, I need that extra pack or whatever else. I go, okay, you know where it is. And because the inventory access point on those coyotes is always in a really nice and easy to reach spot, it's not bad either.
Yeah, much better than the striker.
Yeah.
Which is remarkable,
Yeah.
actually. I don't know how much of a suggestion this is because I don't know much about the system, but I know we were talking about essentially making up like a crate for the aft, I think, that we could just, of the commonly loaded stuff that we load in the engineering vehicle. I'm wondering if that couldn't be the same sort of solution as far as like having a crate with like 2 preloaded backpacks of the medical supplies so that anybody could spawn it and you could put it in your Vic and then they don't have to worry about doing that necessarily.
The part of the reason why it's backpacks and not just a crate of supplies is because the backpacks can be pulled out of the car and dropped on the ground in a second.
That's what I'm asking is it possible to set up like backpacks full of predetermined materials inside a crate? It could be spawned from logistics.
Or inside an inventory.
Ooh.
Or loaded in inventory directly.
I'd rather do it as a crate because then we can just load it from a BAF point, regardless of what vehicles we're using.
Yeah, but you can make the crate. So Super's got the code, and we can make the crate, and you can load that directly into the vehicle's inventory. But can you load a loaded bag into the inventory using that?
I was gonna ask Darkness if he knows about programming, pre-programming crates and stuff like that, and if it's possible to put full backpacks in there.
From before Darkness responds to that, my understanding of the process is that you basically load the crate with what you want, and then take a copy of the code that makes up that crate now, and then you put it in the BAF point. There's a process to put that bit of code that it gives you on what's loaded in the crate into that BAF point somehow. Darkness, you are free to tell me I'm fucking wrong. I need coffee. Darkness?
Maybe muted.
Maybe. I might have stepped away for a second.
I mean,
You're
the
going to ask,
code
no
is,
guarantee of answer.
the code is essentially just asset name, comma, and the amount that's in there.
Yeah.
Adding a bag. Yeah. Arma3 loves nested statements.
What's your question, Rupert? Speak now, forever hold your peace. Reaper, you had a question. Are you gonna fucking ask it or not?
No, I didn't have a question.
Okay.
I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna fucking kill him.
He responded.
I said no.
Oh.
Is this?
Nutters,
You are
for a
gonna kill
second.
him. He's gonna choke him.
Oh my god.
No, you might get your wish, Nutters.
Nutters, you were. Oh my god, cat! Ow! Ow, cat! Ow! 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 Ow. Okay, chill the fuck out.
Garfield's come for you. Sorry.
Alright. Anyone else have any questions about the new layout going forward or the new hopes, dreams and expectations I have for how things are going to run? If anyone thinks of any questions they have, they are free to ask them in the squad chat. Primary meetings over, lads. In regards to what we have for Dave's op tomorrow in the Fortify tool, if you have a look behind you or behind Bellin, you will see a large array of structures, buildings, and sandbags and such. That is what we have available in the Fortify tool.
Oh, yes. Love it.
Oh, nice.
If only we could put that tiny little bunker on top of that bunker, and then the back would be covered.
I think we can. Right, I'm going to do it with Zeus here in a second, but I'm pretty sure Fortify tool allows you to do that.
Oh, cool. Find out.
Oh, goodness.
And his cat's probably mauling him.
Not this time. I cut them to go away. No, get off that!
I hope you understand what I saw that made me fucking die
it's
laughing.
if you can get it this way, it's tight. You know,
He said, I'm just
have
killing.
this
What a
huge
fucking
open
killing.
back end.
And he just backstepped towards the line in his face.
Can't stand up, but
Fuck. I love you, Cat. I really do. I love you. But you need to learn to not.
So, can anybody with a fortified tool use this, or is it like limited by a role?
Anyone with a Fortify tool should be able to build whatever Dave gives us. So that's Dave's Fortify tool, that's not the one on the training server. Training server's H barriers.
Oh. Also works.
We already have some designs for how we want the H barriers fortifications to work. So that's from basically just from last week's or whatever it was, so we had fortified tools. H barrier.
I'm mostly saying that because I've been busy with another unit making artillery bunkers. Like, that's the main thing I do. So I've been very good. Getting better at them.
If we can make a quick drop mortar pit or something, that'd be awesome.
Probably could do that. Composition in and of itself, and then you'd have to make an
great as
building
Zeus,
and then
but
put the building into. But otherwise, it wouldn't be that difficult. So if we do get some help, and if we are in a position where we're going to be staying there for a long period of time, a small FOB.
Didn't hear a word you just said because you're on Whisper and I'm in Zeus.
I am not in Whisper. I am not in Whisper.
he's also in Zeus.
Touche, he's also in Zeus. Essentially what it's gonna be is what I've learned is that you would put up like away from me. Well, not intentionally. Put up some barracks. You put some fucking. Put some. Stroke. You put up some sandbags.
You're tired.
Put up some sandbags inside of the underneath the tarpaulin here. All of this crap. All of this. Turn that into essentially a good barrier.
Jesus.
Okay. Then you pick up a whole hell of a lot of this sandbags and just crack on the top here.
I know what you just did, and yeah, no, doesn't work. I was like, I'm gonna be the smart one and use the repel feature, and then I immediately do the same thing. Okay, let's prepare ourselves.
No. do it again.
You have the thing turned off then.
Phoenix, it's the Phoenix. Well, work dog. Hang out.
Oi, cat. Fuck off.
Right, fuck off. He ain't getting tight.
Ooh.
That was doing something to my maps of my D&D game, and I don't like that.
Are you having trouble getting up here?
Yeah.
Shift B to get through.
Shift.
Oh. Oh, oh no! Oh, no! Wrong button! We shouldn't be allowed around this shit.
I run
shouldn't be around
enhanced
this shit.
movement rework,
Around
which
this
is
shit.
another mod on top.
That actually does work. Okay.
And this is why I don't trust this with infection. Well, infection first, but what if I do?
I mean, this is why I do trust us with privy tools.
What, the floating H barrier?
Yeah, exactly.
So, do we have H barriers, or is that?
H barriers are purely the training circuit runner.
Okay. So if we're going to do a mortar pit, we'd pretty much be using the sandbag corners or just the regular trenches.
Probably, yeah. No, on the mission tomorrow, we've only got this, what's in front of us here, excluding the H barriers of the people who've been putting out.
Structurally supported.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Hey, Nunners.
Yeah, mate?
Is there gonna be much more talk about, like, squad information, or are we just messing around with the, with these things for tomorrow?
I'm waiting for caffeine to arrive, plus baked and fried potato. You are welcome to discuss whatever you want at that point.
The reason I ask is I need to go for like 5-10 minutes. So
You're free to go, mate. If you got any other questions, feel free to put them in the Discord chat. We're probably just going to talk about the fortifications from there.
okay, I will be back because I'm still messing around with some stuff for my D&D game. So I'm like able to sit down and listen and talk while I do that.
Crap, Romney.
Yeah,
Alright,
yeah.
I'll be back.
I didn't break an arm.
Let's subscribe medical 556. I guess I killed it.
I'm guessing a rabbit.
Yes. Sorry.
Rabbit season.
It's a decent form for a peninsula of, you know, off a fob or a bunker, but any low-angle shots, you're going to catch it.
What's this?
If you're trying to mortar out of it.
Out of what?
Out of this.
Fine, except for extreme ranges.
I don't like the effect fentanyl has.
Bye, Bertha.
The effect that fentanyl has is similar to my bleed or my pain effect. That ain't up.
Where the fuck is he gone?
I was kind of expecting.
Who are you looking for?
Who do you reckon?
So somebody running off that way.
I mean, DC. Go back there.
What do we need to know for the repelling training? How to not fall off a building?
Doing hello.
Fast roping.
Okay.
Fast roping.
There's nothing on.
And then there were
If you're
two,
up on a
there were
building and repelling.
there were two different mods, and they were like, "Don't use this mod, use this mod," and I don't remember which one they said now at this point.
Nice job, Rhodes.
Nah, dude. You didn't have any rope. Use ace. Okay. You need rope to repel. Alright. Let's get this splintered up. You want to start dealing with just bandages?
Where is he? Back right up there.
Alrighty. Do you want some fentanyl, or are you good?
I've already got some painkillers.
Let's get you a stitch. Don't go too far.
With the new system
Oh, I
moving
need stitching
forward,
too.
with how things are going to be laid out,
Oh,
with
really?
what your current job is, you're basically moving into an ATL spot,
Most crushed
or there's a chance you're going to move into a
tissue
TL slot
will clot.
and have a chance of actually leaving the team yourself.
I've been on
I was repelling before.
It's really a program.
Yeah, rope is like ammo. You use it up.
We have significantly elevated our position.
Permission to stun grenade the elevated position.
Denied.
Is that a minigun?
Technically, it's called the epilator.
Yes. And I'm not allowed to press the trigger.
The server crasher 7000.
Not only that, everybody will be deafened in a second. Just want to hold the beast while I can.
Can you shoot a rope?
Okay. Nice.
Hey, buddy. Giving you a stitch.
Feels like he chose the right you to me.
Do you require painkillers? Ketamine's not. Allow me. Ketamine's more just to knock people out. It's a sedative, not a it'll reduce your pain, but
Yeah, no, I heard.
no, fentanyl is pain relief. Yeah, but weird. We can learn by doing. He's got a minigun and worms. It's not a good thing. Let's have a look at you.
When it stops,
Is it fast or slow?
slow.
We'll have a look. What do we got? 59. It's not great. Oh, we can check. I'm going to check his blood pressure, do the usual medical stuff. What did you take? You took a morphine. I mean, you did the right thing. You came and spoke to a corpsman. I mean, we can give you... You're going to have pain if we use naloxone. And carbonate's going to increase your heart rate, but... Yeah.
Oh, excuse me.
Blood pressure... Yeah, it's sitting fine.
Is this what we're going to be making
No.
tomorrow?
Your oxygenation is fine. Your blood
So
pressure.
this is just me looking at what
fairly
we've got
low,
available
but-
now in the training server, which is different to what's going to be in Dave's op. So the sandbag-based stuff to our right is what's going to be in Dave's op.
The lower
That's what's
thing is
available
off.
to us. Yeah. All that thing, all the shit behind it that doesn't have the H barrier on it, that's available in Dave's op.
Roger that.
I'm sort of just looking at what sort of things we can do on the training server that would be beneficial for Phoenix as a whole. So this works quite well as both a firing position for machine guns as well as mortar pit. And you can supplement this with trenches and all other sorts of shit. Sort of looking at what can be done for vehicle storage right now.
Do you need a specific flag to be able to build, like an engineer or something? Because I've got the tool.
No. You'll just be able to look into your ACE self-interact and it should be fortified.
That's a long build time.
What are you building and where?
Nothing. I stopped.
I need to grab one of the mine super strikers in a sec.
Cube.
Because I want to use it as a measuring tool real quick.
Yeah, probably gonna have to go wider if you want to be able to park it in.
What the fuck is it called?
The Striker M1132.
Is it done with a Y or an I?
Don't even type Striker, just M1132.
Typically, Striker is with a Y. Yeah, my
Lord.
plan is broke.
Ventura again.
You good, Colin?
The most strategic of H barriers. You can shoot after it.
I need to get Wolfie out of the way and Tack. Tack, can I get you out of the way, please? Wolfie, thank you.
Because it's dangerous.
How painful is slow is to compare for those things?
And then how painfully slow it is to... Alright, which way is the wind going? I can't get Yeah, I can't get the thing, the HUD thing to show up anymore.
Romney, how are you getting on the top of this?
Approaching from here, Shift V. You may need enhanced movement rework as a client side.
Sure,
Control space, whatever your climbing thing is.
Oh,
that ain't it.
Yeah.
You might want to get out from under that. How'd that happen?
I don't know.
No idea.
The barrier on the front of it pushed the thing up.
Oh.
We've been here, so. I mean, you got a bit of a gap at the front. I don't know if you're trying to go for full closure or not.
I'm just sort of like seeing what sort of spacing I'd need to fit that in comfortably.
Yeah. Do you need me to unload any tires, mate?
Yeah, it's actually not.
Oh no, no it is not.
Dude, I said he wasn't going to be available today.
A little parachute should appear up there now.
Find the other one.
Probably very far away. Only lasts for a couple of minutes.
I don't think it lasts until we hit the ground. Also, the wind immediately changed to the northeast now. So, oh,
Yeah.
that's right away. Arma is weird.
Yeah.
Could be one direction and the second later.
Oh, we got a mini.
Mine.
I can tell your urge of wanting to shoot it down the thing.
I hate this.
Waiting order.
I want to kill people. What are you guys doing?
Hitting with the. Yeah.
Yeah, it's my probe. I brought it into this world. I can take it out.
Look at you go. No, he's sending another one up.
Yeah, just on a better flight trajectory.
I think it's shot down.
I think someone to jump into the mine to be striker rather than in the gaps and barriers.
Might need a Zusio on it.
Front in, please. Although reversing apparently works as well.
Twinkle, twinkle.
Alright, so 5H barrier blocks is a good separator. Can you get out of the text without?
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay.
Takes a little
So
bit for this
5H
to
barrier
fucking
blocks for
slow
good
as
width
shit.
for a vehicle bay.
Oh yeah, 5 across.
Yeah. Just the single block style across. On the short width, not the wide width. Do you get what I mean? Because H barriers are
Would I hit it with your pistol there, Kirby?
longer than they are wide. They're more rectangular than they are square.
I saw it hit you.
Look how quiet the pistols are.
My game does not like you doing that on me.
Oh, okay. So, only way to access the inventory on it, though.
Oh. Okay, so that's still gonna hit her.
And that M2 can still be used from inside the fortified position. Is that a crows or is it just like a?
Should be the M2
So there's a grenade launcher.
VA.
At least it should be a crows, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crows. There's a good camera on front.
SSS, you can shoot it down with the.
Tex, aim north and press Charlie for me.
Oh, it's dead to the turn. Okay. Also, holy crap,
That's
that's a
gonna
lot of
be
smoke.
fucking nice.
Because it's mounted on the turret.
Yeah. Oh, and you have 2 charges.
Whether or not it's actually coded to do that.
What?
To actually be current oriented.
Oh,
could
yeah.
be different.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. That was the concern.
No, my concern was that it would hit the H barriers and we just get this vehicle bay filled with smoke and not actually in front of the trenches.
Now, if only if it would last for more than like 2 seconds.
Yeah, but if you've got a lot of shit coming, you go, right, okay, direct fire this direction, hit the smoke. Okay, that gives us a half a second to reorient.
Right, just need to make a mod.
You already need to make a mod for all the vehicle fucking skins for the shit that we capture.
Oh,
Because I'm sick of
I need to
having a
make the-
fucking 18 megabyte fucking mod mission download.
The only thing I'd
Wait, it already is a mod.
is that this H barrier is
It's Griffin textures. That's really a mod. I don't know why the mission's so big.
Yeah, the thing is that Tex, it's not going to be an enclosed vehicle bay. Like each end's open.
Just give it a little bit of cover.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's just to give it cover from incoming fire.
Now, if only
Because
we
it
had
is a little
plank
more
of wood
fragile
just
than a
laying here that
Nema,
we could
so-
run over, get out of the
What
way.
I would
but
like to
it
do
off.
real quick, Tex, if I can get you back into it, and then to turn it around, please. Well, that didn't fucking attach it to its cargo, did it?
What do you do?
I was trying to put it in
Right.
the cargo.
Did you just drag it on top of it?
It does it sometimes.
Usually.
I wonder if we don't have enough room, because I think that's a 4 box. And I think this already has stuff in it. But it has
Yeah, you've
more
got
room.
to.
Move it over here, real
We do
quick.
have script for other things, but typically it only loads onto like flatbeds and stuff.
I mean, it's
Loading into Ace from.
Load it in.
Okay.
What I want to test is if we can unload it. Hey, Pure. Unload it within the H barrier section with it detonated.
That's gonna be a good question.
Well, yeah, it's a fucking very good question because if we're
I'm gonna come cover if you need me.
Tex, can you unload the box, please?
I'm gonna put it in the tape
Yeah,
for
like
me.
stand behind it if you can.
Okay.
Because it will usually put it into your hands.
Oh, yeah, no, it should be safe long as he has that option enabled. Or we forced it. Could be.
Technically, it's not
flame
fine.
retardant gear?
Armor physics in
Wait,
the
Yeah,
rough.
we're good.
Isn't an option to have cargo unload into your hands?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
If it doesn't weigh too much.
What's it under?
Base logistics, probably. I would guess. I don't know. Let me go find it.
Oh, carry after unload. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Ace underscore cargo underscore in hand underscore. Yes. True false.
Yeah, that's what the import looked like for it.
I am suffering slowly.
So I think I just made Bellin shudder in pain.
I
Are you
don't know
okay,
what you're
though?
talking about, but okay. No, something completely different from Arma.
Actually, that's a good question. That's actually a really good point. Tex, can I get you to drive that out, please? So just drive to me. Deploy the stakes. That's the plow.
Lane marker.
Start on firing and just walk, like, drive towards me as I walk backwards.
Press C to plan them.
You need to keep deploying them as you go.
Oh, they made one. Yeah, the only issue is this.
Yeah, stop.
It really shouldn't have physics on it.
Push them back in.
Everybody ready to sing I Believe You Can Fly.
It's got an option for like automatic lane marking settings, so I might be able to get it to auto deploy.
I'm not too worried about the auto settings. I was more just worried about the spacing on them, real quick.
Careful.
There's a Dave among us.
I mean, I can shoot him if you want.
I've got him lined up with a stun grenade.
Classes, races.
Potentially, if we've got somebody following the vehicle, somebody could just put down the little glow stick things behind it so that they can follow the glow stick trail, rather than having to put down the lane markers.
Depends on which one.
Lane markers against your infantry.
Yeah, the height
I mean, concept is if the plow's down and it's clearing the mines out of the way, then the lane markers are useful.
He knows what the purpose is.
Yeah.
At this point.
They're useful for infantry reasons. That's about it.
Also, there are a lot more lane markers than there are glow sticks with the captain, probably.
Yeah, I mean...
You can carry a fucking load.
Yeah.
But one bandage, one glow stick. Biggest issue.
Rose, green circle, not a good idea. Green arrow, much better. Yeah.
I guess because we do have a...
I'm just saying, green arrow, much better.
green circle and arrow.
Put down a red one. That'll go well.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I am not resetting basic because people start spray painting fucking tic-tac-toe all over the fucking map.
Put a blue arrow pointing outside the lane.
Maybe spray paint again.
Just put like a blue triangle here. Yeah.
I wouldn't just say
It's a
that.
diamond. It's a diamond from where I
style. Hey, it's a diamond. Wait,
Are we
wrong
playing
game.
Lucky Terms again?
Funny using red diamond as symbol of medical in armor, but also
Yeah, that's
red
actually
diamond.
kind of funny. I
Red
just go
diamond
red.
for Armco is explosives, run the fuck away.
I mean, I was thinking Ghost Recon because
In some people's
Yeah.
cases,
Depends on the
explosives
context.
run into them.
Yeah. So yeah, if it's just fine.
Close to most of us.
If you've got someone who's following along behind, that's perfectly fine. The alternative, is, of course, is just doing what we did last week during Dave's op, which was just drive forward, turn around, and come back. Is the easy way of doing it because you clear a nice wide path and you don't need to worry about it. You just say stick into the center of the tarmac. But if you don't have that, something like the spray cans works if we have vehicles. If it's just infantry we have following along behind, we can just stick with the lane markings. What I was more interested in terms of actually getting the lane markings out was seeing if we could use them to actually very quickly make that.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah.
That is a good idea, honestly.
Yeah.
Make what?
Ease.
Instead of having to measure shit out. Yeah, okay.
Oh, I see. Okay. What'd you get the tank for?
Just to show you that the lane markings are solid, and I wanted to see if it would send me to space.
I mean, he backed up over a bunch of them.
I mean, fitty.
Yeah, but
you know what armor's like.
Yes, well, the minesweeping striker is weird in that it doesn't have as much issue with that physical object as what things like tanks do.
Hi there. I noticed. Oh. Okay. Can apparently shoot him to death.
My thought text was that if we just put down, if we go, right, okay, this is where we want the vehicle bay, back the striker up, place
I don't
one
have the
set of spaces, that's the space that we need to maintain.
That's true, actually, yeah.
What do you guys do to get rid of these? Did you shoot them?
Yeah, you can shoot them.
I'm trying to punch it, but it didn't happen.
I only had to shoot that once. I need to put them later.
Fold the plowing.
Good one, Romney.
Can you lift it over your head and turn it 90 degrees?
Tex, I'm going to get you to reverse back towards the H bar on that side there. So Tex, turn around. Lane marker is like as close to that H barrier wall as you can. Yep, that'll do. Spike on. Now drive out, please.
Someone turn the fucking tank off, please.
Alright, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna probably go live if you can talk to Rudy for a little bit before I get my game going and stuff.
Okay.
Have a good one. Let me know if anything. Let me know if anything particularly cool is discovered.
Will do.
Matters.
Alright, text, bring it back through.
Oh, I was thinking
I have an idea.
Might be updated to Windows 11.
Could we theoretically angle the
Without you
Hestro
at-
barriers to act as a ramp?
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah,
the first thing I did was check.
But will they be able to
It
drive
fixed all
on?
my audio driver issues. However,
Yes.
it broke
It's a
Arma.
bit check though.
Yeah, sounds about right. That is.
I wonder if I can interrupt to make the tank.
It's check that works. Alright, so the width of the spikes plus one barrier turns sideways, so you have the longer side, and then you put down the barrier.
So why not
I mean, at least you have dark mode on Notepad now.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like I don't
Wait,
mind it.
what?
It's pretty nice. It's
You could, but
working
then
way
you're like,
faster
trying
than
to keep
Windows
a
10 for
straight
whatever
edge and shit.
reason.
I don't know.
I just want to know why the fuck they curved everything.
But
Apple.
if you want
Really?
to see like regular intervals,
They wanted
Apple
it
can
to be a
fuck off.
friendlier
Apple shit.
design.
Yeah, if you clear the
Yes.
minefield,
Still,
automatic
it looks bad.
marking is
They
perfect.
think.
You don't
Whatever.
want to be focusing on
15
placing
meters.
markings as
I
well.
don't agree. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And that's really good for if you've got
No,
infantry.
it broke my
But if you've
workshop
got a tank, so
into an like just relentlessly.
Tack, can I get you to drive around the other side here, please, and drive over
trying
some of these
to
markings?
verify all my files.
What do you have to do? Let it do its thing? Or just have to just do everything?
I did it a couple times and or I opened Steam as the administrator because apparently something is different between the regular user rights and the admin rights 11. And then I basically flashed the downloads cache and started again, and then it started uploading or downloading Unsung and another mod that were broken.
yeah, exactly.
Sadly, with the verified,
Realistically, what should be happening is that
mortar
those should be flexible.
calculator.
So he runs over.
You didn't separate it, did you?
Except.
Well.
I have that device, so it's like make it takes me like 5 minutes.
Which is why you can shoot them once.
I mean, you really shouldn't be using it separately anyway, but stuff.
I know.
It was counted as like placing a structure. I've got a 7.62 rifle, so.
I also started looking at the at how CAD does the medical equipment to
Real quick, lads.
try and
We're gonna
see
pull
like
that strike around
how
again.
difficult it would be to make a engineering alternative.
Tack, drive the tank in the gap.
It's something. And I think it can be done. Like if you have a couple months time, like we should have a mod that basically enables cat-like mechanics for vehicles.
Yeah, no, it should be easier, honestly, because you don't
Yeah,
have to
can
deal
you
with
get
the
out?
medical state machine, at least.
Yeah, that's true.
For that being what it is.
Technically, yes.
Technically, yes. Can you get back in? I mean, you should be able to.
Yeah, because you
You
can
need to get in from above.
Yeah.
Because you can ice
Or
interact
climb,
and
but
just
not shoot
go
through.
anyway.
What the fuck does the driver get in this thing? Does it go through the
doesn't.
back?
On
They
the left
don't.
side here.
They could just drop down the commander's hatch into the
Yeah,
driver's
really?
seat.
Some advanced AI I don't know about.
You phase in through the bottom of the tank.
There's actually no bottom.
The
in this
entire
other
thing is
tank.
lowered onto the cockpit.
We see inside of Israeli tank, as well as there's so many passenger seats, there's no bottom in an Israeli tank. What it
just
is,
them
everyone just
running
running along like Flintstones.
Very different from stuff.
Alright, so it does work as a decent vehicle bay if we want to get it out of the line of sight of direct fire.
Mm-hmm.
Might be a bit of a problem for top down, but that's not something we can really do much about.
Cover its sides at least, if you need to
Yeah.
watch a single
We
direction.
could totally cover it. It's just the chances of it causing issues is higher.
But no, I mean, as it is right now, it covers the sides if you're watching one way in
Yeah.
particular. You
So
can
we-
throw a vehicle trench in the front, and then that's the front
Well-
mostly.
Well, to be fair, you're covering the front.
Or you throw a bunch of those.
Those are just high enough to block the lower plate.
Wait, can you put these into the ground with
hope
the
so.
fortified tool?
Not those ones. Not those ones.
Oh,
You
okay.
can totally cover the lower glacis.
Building one just where you are.
That's unfortunate, because then you can't use the big ones and just lower the lower half into the ground.
Yeah, that'd be nice. If you're only looking to cover that lower plate and the treads, then that's all you need. You still get plenty of fire, angling, and everything else.
There may be explosions in 1 minute.
Oh no. What are you building?
I'm testing a theory.
Are you testing what I'm testing?
Possibly, I'm not sure.
There's definitely going to be explosions. There's someone in there.
Whether I have the altitude set correctly is going to be another question.
Oh no. Yes, get your head inside.
How do you get the altitude to
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Well, guess we now have an ARMCO cupcake.
I mean, that'll protect from top down.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you can do it with height barriers and build it up.
Down in Arma, so.
Well, that's true enough as well, actually.
We learned that one the hard way.
Sure about that one.
Yeah, Wolfie, see if you're going to get rid of that.
Prepare for explosion.
I got it.
I'm waiting for Dave to look over here and realize he's made a mistake.
I think it disconnected.
I don't know why Dave would make a mistake, because it's not that. These aren't things that Dave's given us. Dave should be looking over here and seeing all this shit going, you know what? I've made a really good choice.
Yeah, I didn't build the
This
height
is all the
barriers.
shit we can build.
Okay, so start building a giant sandbag tower then. Packing planks.
Yeah, I fell a bit.
Did people stop hurting themselves?
Why do I have
Negative.
a feeling that, like,
Nice.
fortifications are going to be really useful tomorrow?
That's why I wanted to have a chat about what we've got available and what we might be able to do with them. What we've been doing is instead been talking about the ones we've got available in the training server and what we can do with them.
Hey, nutters.
Yes.
Look up and tell me yay or nay in 20 seconds.
I'm going to save you the time. Nay.
Preemptively, no. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't know if you're trying to this.
Really nice.
Massive no.
And then you build it down on the other side.
Listen, we're gonna
And
ask
someone rocks up and goes, what the hell is going on here? And you filled it all in the sandbags.
And then I shoot you.
And you've built like a sandcastle.
You weren't here for that. I mean, so.
No, he wasn't here for Cat Tower.
Multiple times we've built giant
Drop on the
fuck-off
floor.
sandbags.
Huh?
Around that clip.
I dropped something. How did I drop that?
I don't fucking know.
Oh, probably dropped out of your
Drop-
inventory and
must be
reloaded.
the truck.
It does that sometimes. I think that's where magazines keep going.
If we're using the other stuff that we've got over there, having a... It's weird because the entrenching tool gives us just bigger pieces.
So what I am thinking about for tomorrow, lads, is elevation is very much going to be our friend. Trying to maintain that elevation is going to help us a lot. Those HESCO towers, combined with the sandbag tower, I think is going to be a particularly effective application. And I'm going to want a couple of those deployed around the place as we get into things, as well as those lower down sandbag bunkers, just to sort of provide positions for machine guns on decent overlapping fields of fire. One of the things we can do is build the green cargo tower on top of the smaller like the larger sandbag bunker, because you can climb on top of the sandbag bunker and then climb on top of the cargo tower, whatever else.
Okay.
How would that mesh with the H barrier bunker? Oh, like that, it's not as high.
Okay.
Can't really
okay,
do it with Zeus because Zeus doesn't like it.
Yeah. So as close as you'll get it.
The issue is the supports going through the
Yeah. That's actually pretty funny.
It does block off one entrance.
That's not a bad thing.
I guess
I mean,
it's
the
kind
zombies
of
get in,
okay.
they've only got one approach of angle.
Unless they learn how to get down on there. You can crawl right under it, so you can, like, lead them in and then... Yeah, you can crawl under that bullet.
Come on up.
At least Boone hasn't been showing up to these ops already. Considering.
I figure.
My climb broke, so.
So where the actual entrance is to the bunker, that's where you climb, just here.
Okay.
Need
Don't
extra
worry,
sandbags
I have
on
a
that
plan.
second level.
I don't like the sound of that. Hey, I can close the hatch from here.
What do you do?
It's not working.
Yeah, you gotta aim lower. Jesus.
Yeah, we learned how to not overbuild.
Well, it threw me off. Oh, that's fine. I mean, with
You
this
just
setup,
nudged me over
so
the
much
side.
so blood and
Sorry?
I was just hoping to get nudged over the side. But
But like, if this dispenser's high
Yeah, it
enough,
worked. Well, that worked.
we can just like hang and shoot. And then you just
making the first pinata station is...
Oh, Dave's gonna fucking kill us at the end of this mission.
yeah, yeah, never getting it again.
Yeah, can we get the loadout on top of that one?
Huh? Huh. I need to work on my
better
loadout.
yet, the
I'm
big
missing shit.
command tower.
No, I don't think we get to build one of them. But if we can
do the
stack...
bigger cargo tower.
Yeah. Do we want to see if we can do anything with it once it's destroyed?
Cool.
It still works as a
Rose, you
tower.
might not want to be in there.
Clear the tower.
I'm sure I can still get shot. Go for it. I need to respawn anyway.
Your description.
That'll do.
Stand by, I got someone knocking on my fucking door.
Coffee! Fried potato.
That sounds so good right now.
I'm gonna be doing croissants and stuff in a minute.
I have pancakes. Oh yeah, no darkness.
Yeah. He died and you didn't look after him.
Oh.
Okay.
I don't know how you guys
Okay.
are actually gonna climb there.
Pretty much
Telling
unusable
me I
once
can't
it's
climb.
destroyed.
Can't climb here.
Guys,
Yeah.
guys. I've just
You
been
got
offered
members.
a free in-home Bible study.
Invite them in. Invite them in. Talk about how fake their religion is.
I'd really rather not get into that with anybody.
No, I had a mate who he got married to an ex-Mormon, so he studied up on the church, and he would invite them in, and because it's always a senior and a junior, and he broke that many juniors that he became blacklisted, and they weren't allowed to visit him.
Oh wow.
Pagan. God is pagan.
Yeah.
Text.
You
Yeah.
can't get back up.
Find the mod for that.
I've got climb done.
Nice.
There's a client-side one that makes it work a lot easier.
Nice. I feel like I'm gonna need to be able to climb more up.
Why did I pick that up?
Yeah.
So yeah,
So,
I like your idea here,
yeah.
Romney, with the
Double side.
bandbag.
So it's pretty over
Yeah.
at the back.
Movement viewers.
And then if we
There's the other alternative as well is
Really
like
nice.
smaller round sandbags. As well, if you want to
Um,
open top still, you can put the round sandbags back there.
But you're gonna get hit with mortars. You know you are.
We're on a checkpoint. Oh, we're gonna get hit with mortars anyway. Pardon me. Hit
Yeah.
with mortars anyway.
If it's going to be another zombie run on the checkpoint, we're probably looking at is it going to be nighttime or daytime?
No idea. My assumption is based only on mods that are included.
Yeah. No, I'm just thinking because getting a arsenal dragged up or running a 2-man elimination team if it's nighttime.
Yeah, I do want to set up a mortar pit behind our line with flares. Because the mortar flares stick around for a long time.
Especially the LAD one.
Yes, but what I would like to do is what I'm more thinking. Real quick, I'm going to copy that particular building. We've got a couple of these sort of buildings in our position.
Build a mortar pit in between them and set them up. Like in a
Yeah, so if we've got a couple of them with the sandbag bunker on the back, We're also gonna. I also want to have one with actual just open sandbag, and put the mortar on there, so that the mortar is elevated away from the ground. Makes it a little bit easier to defend it.
The other thing it does with the sandbags around it, and because you can set it to snap to sea level instead of terrain, give you a flat working level.
Well, that's not so much of a concern when you're firing off flares.
Yeah, but sometimes formations change.
My concern was more so that the people who are firing the flares can still be involved in the fight between flares. Give them an elevated position, an elevated point to fire from, so they can still fire flares and then get off the mortar,
As long as we
come
have-
over, fire some rounds from the elevated position, then go back and fire another one when it's needed.
As long as we have either a BAF position with the ability to pull boxes close by or an arsenal up there, otherwise you don't have a downtime. You fire them off, you go reload all your ammunition, you run back, you fire them off again.
Yeah, it's going to be hopefully dragon boxes out there, so we have boxes of mortar rounds pulled up on top of the position, and they would either be placed underneath and we'll seal the entrance with some sandbags, or
Do
they'll
we
be placed in the sandbagged upper position.
Can we test that now and see if a box of L81 flares underneath will and resupply a mortar on top? See
I'm
how
thinking
crude the
M6
area
as
of
well.
effect. Okay, cool.